Well, it's been 10 days since we started this project, and finally today we have power, which is awesome. 400 amps, which I plan to run right around 22 to 24 ASICs in this shed. Can't wait. This has been a long process. This project is not over. I have several days left of buttoning things up in the shed, getting all the ASIC miners converted over to the Shroud system. I have about half right now and lots to do. But guys, I appreciate you guys joining me for this journey. Check out the next video coming out in about a week or so with more progress on our crypto mining shed. Stay tuned. It has been 2 weeks since we started our project to build our crypto mining shed, and it has been an absolute insane 14 days. But I'm proud to be able to show you guys the shed today, how far it's come in the last 14 days, and well, we have miners up and running. Let's take a quick look at how we've made out.
Today's video is sponsored by the team over at asicmarketplace.com. With crypto mining hardware prices dropping, it's critical to find an online store you can trust with your ASIC purchases. The team at asicmarketplace.com has you covered with some of the most competitive pricing on the market. No matter what brand you're looking for, ASIC Marketplace has it. To name just a few: Bitmain, Goldshell, WhatsMiner, IB-Link, iPolo, JazzMiner, and many more. There are no surprises with ASIC Marketplace. The price listed on their website includes shipping. Imagine that. Finally, ASIC Marketplace takes the buying experience to the next level by accepting cryptocurrency as payment directly on their store. Go check out ASIC Marketplace today via the link in this video's description down below, as well as save $110 at checkout with discount code �HOBBYISTMiner.
Before we go ahead and jump in, I want to say I am in no way a professional. This is not my trade. I am not a craftsman or a tradesman in any way. So if you have a better way of doing things, I totally get it. And in a lot of this, there probably was a better way to do it. But this is the way I did it. And well, we're going to dive into exactly how we got into things today. And if you have recommendations, I'd love to hear them, honestly. So here is our 400 amp commercial service that we did get installed. We ran it from the pole all the way over here. We still got to deal with our whole trench setup here, having a company come in, clean it up. But here is our 400 amp commercial service. It is single phase. Down below here, we have separate conduit running in our 2 Ethernet cables. One is a primary, the second one is a backup. You can actually see some of our grounds there. Down below, going into our grounding rod. But here is where we ended up. So excited. Actually, showed there about 27 kilowatts is where we're at currently right now. All right, so jumping in on this side, we didn't do anything new or different on the intake side. Only thing we did when we had time is we did put in filters up top here, as well as some screens, kind of stapled them into the back side of it. Rotating around, nothing new on the front of the shed. Even though Joey Gambit, who was helping us out, wanted to replace the doors, we did not have time. Wasn't on the project list, Joey. On our exhaust side here, this is probably some of the biggest changes. Gonna try to get out of the sun there, but take a look. So here is all of our exhaust ducts. Any of them that have a tap screw in the top of them are actually up and mining right now. Taking a look inside here a little bit, kind of take a quick little gander and see. So these do have a flap. Let me show you on this one. See, there's a flap and a door. The air will blow it open. I can actually feel cool air in there. However, the nice thing is when it's not being used, it is covered. The reason that I actually put a self-tapper in there and held it open is I didn't want any back pressure. I didn't want the fans to have to struggle in any way. So if it's being used, I'll put a little self-tapper in there, help to keep that flap open. And also there's a critter guard that I did go ahead and have that went with these. So any of them that are being used does have a critter guard in place. We do have 10 across the top and 10 directly down below. Only one at the bottom is currently being used. And all but, 2 at the top currently right now. Sorry about that sun, it is brutal. It is about 7:30 here. So I think the biggest thing is let's head inside. All right, so before we go in, for all of you OCDers when it comes down to cable management, I get it. it drives me nuts. So keep in mind, I have not tied and cleaned up any cables as of now. I really wanted to wait till I got everything in place before I did that and actually get the proper length cables. So we aren't there yet, so bear with me. All right, let's hop inside our shed. All right, and here we are. We'll just do a little swing tour of what we got going on. A bunch of our ASICs up and running right now. Got our network up top here. Oh my gosh, that sun is brutal. Storage down below until we end up using it all. We do have one S19K Pro down below, up and running. And hey, a little difference here. We can actually talk in here. So our network equipment, we got a camera up top there. Our two 200 amp panels over here. Our intake side. Here's our workbench over here, which has turned out to be amazing. Bunch of storage down below. And our PC over here. So if we walk over here, I've really been working from right here for the last several days. Quite the view, huh? It's been really nice. I've actually thought about doing some live streams from here. It's not super loud. So those of you guys that are like, oh man, how loud is that gonna be? Well, I actually took a dB meter about 6 feet off the front of the shed. It's only 70 dB. So like as you go back, it gets quieter and quieter. You can't even hear these very far away, which is awesome because they're not that loud. These fans aren't running that loud. So workbench setup here. This is for converting all of our ASICs over to the Shroud systems. We do have a PDU here and a PDU here, as well as Ethernet. The PDUs aren't powered on yet. I have them unplugged. I'm waiting on hardware. I was short a few screws for the meter box and the meter box up there, so they're actually sending those out to me. So huge shout out to the meter box team, and those will be energized and ready to go. Just a bunch of boxes down here with all the different fans and everything like that, all the components we've removed. We do have some ASICs over here. I do have plans for those. So those of you guys that are curious, we do have the AlphaPex DG1 Plus. That is gonna go right down here for now. I am going to, there's a company that I think sells a shroud that'll hook up to the back of that to get that working, at least exhausting out the back. But I actually wanna work with Fruition Design. Huge shout out to them. Couldn't have done any of this without them, honestly. And I want to work with John over there on getting a kit designed. So I want to help him to get a prototype set up for that, because that'll be awesome. The two light miners here, SC Light and KD Light, those are going to go down here. Those don't put out much at all. They're not loud at all. K10 super scaler, we'll put that down below. And then my little S9 there. Those will just sit down here. They shouldn't be too bad at all. But yeah, the workbench has turned out awesome. I'm so glad we did this. Joey Gambit actually is the one who helped design this. Worked out phenomenal, just having the extra storage. I do have down here the Whatsminer M60, and I just got the kit from Fruition Design. There's a sticker somewhere, there it is. Fruition Design for this. They actually sell a kit for the M60. So I'm gonna get that built here in the next few days, and that'll sit anywhere over here. Now you might be asking like, all right, let's take a closer look over there. Well, let's go, let's do it. All right, so you can see here, this has really been a real easy design to work on after getting these built. I do need to get guards on these, because these, man, you get your shirt close to these, they definitely will cut it up. But everything's designed to have 2 ASICs per PDU. Now this ASIC by itself, because it's using 3600 watts and S19K, we're just running everything with stock firmware as of now. This one is on the second one by itself, another S19K. Now I am running them on the high energy mode, that's why they're using so much. We have an Ice River K9, or K2, wow, here, and a KA3. Those are sharing PDU3 over here. Then we have PDU4, it has 2 K7s on it. We do have an L7 over on this one here, paired with an E9. So there, so, you know, this one's only about 5,400 watts. This one's over 6,000, and I'm okay with that. You know, we've run all the cable ourselves with a dedicated service that is over the 80%, but I'm comfortable right around 6,000 running all of these. I've talked with a lot of you guys, a lot of people well more experienced than I am. You guys said, hey, if you're running all your own stuff, it's all brand new, should be comfortable with it. My electrician's unit is over here by itself. And then we have another S19K Pro down here by itself, but we have the whole same setup down below. Now, all these cables hanging down, these will not be here long term. My goal is to actually do some nice cable management on this 2x4 across and put them right in to these power strips. These power strips are just hooked over here to this 15 amp. That's one 15 amp, 120, and another one down there, just dedicated for the fans. If you guys are interested, each of these fans uses 157 watts at a speed of 10. So I'm just basing all of that off of that. So this will be fine to support that on a single 15 amp. So all of these cables hanging down will get cleaned up. I just kind of wanted to get everything in place. As for our C13 to C14 cables that you guys see in here, I had these red and yellow ones. I'm most likely going to swap them out for shorter cables here in the near future. But for right now, I'm just using what I got and what's available to us, which is really, really nice in here. So all these miners up and running, which is fantastic. Our network up top here worked out great. I did end up getting matching patch panel cables. We have our Google mesh unit up there with a little security camera. We did run a secondary Ethernet run back to the house for backup internet in case that one cable has a problem. Now up top here, you can see we actually are still running. Let me set this up. I was setting up this step stool here because it's a ways up there. Up top here, we are still running one inline fan on each side. It says right now about 92 up at the peak, and that's okay. It's 90 degrees outside. So this is been great in here. It's 90 degrees outside. My intake temps on the wall here say it's 89, and none of the heat is in this shed. It makes it great. The sound's quiet. All the heat's getting exhausted, which works out well. But those are just to get any of the heat that rises in any way up top and top of the shed. They're running really low at like a speed of 3. So they're just very, very slowly just getting rid of that. What else do we have? So after we get everything up and running, we're still gonna have maybe 8 spots for ASICs down below here before we're entirely filled up. So I'm pretty much gonna balance that between this and hosting. I host with 3 different locations right now. I probably will continue to utilize them the best I can. But other than that, I'm trying to think if I've forgotten anything else. Here is our panels in here. All worked out great. Each panel has a total here of 5 PDUs. You know, you got 5 across the top with 5 30 amp 240 volts across the top there. So we actually labeled them to match the PDUs. So we have 5 PDUs in each panel. We then have our top shelf for our fans, outside outlet we have put on the shed, and also there's a panel outlet right here, just this little guy. And then in this one here, we have lights inside, internet, the PC, and one of the overhead fans. Both of them, the bottom shelf outlets, and then the final additional PDUs over here. We do have a total of 12 PDUs. So we have 5 up top, 5 down below, and then each of these 11 and 12 PDUs over here. But guys, that's it. This is our new design for our crypto mining shed. It has turned out amazing. Huge shout out to Fruition Design for these setups. Like, it really makes or breaks thing, honestly. AC Infinity got the fans. Now, the biggest one, I will say, that has been my deal breaker, that has made things amazing too, is the pivotal pleb boards. These boards here are inside of each of these ASICs, and they are an interface between the ASIC and these fans. It allows the ASIC to control the speed of the fans, which these are awesome, these pivotal pleb boards. So those have worked out great. The AC or the Altair Tech PDUs, man, we have a total of 12 of those. Absolutely insane. Huge shout out to those guys. I had one of the PDUs actually had a little bit of damage around the C19 port. They had one overnighted to me, so shout out to them for doing that. Keep the project moving. But yeah, that's it, guys. Here is our shed. I still have lots of work ahead of me. I want to get this all cleaned up, but it's going to be about a few weeks. I got to fly to Miami here coming up soon, as well as heading to Nashville. So I got a lot going on before I can get back to the shed. Oh, also shout out to K-Trim for sending these over to us here. Awesome, I got one of those. These are sweet. I put it by the door so I didn't accidentally stick my hand in here when turning on the light. But that's gonna wrap things up for today, guys. I'll put links to a lot of the things I talked about directly down below. Work continues. I'll get you guys an update here in a few weeks on how our shed is making out. Take care, guys.
Sorry to interrupt your video, but check this out. I constantly get emails from the community asking me about trustworthy hosting facilities in the United States that I recommend. Well, I got you covered. Listen up. A few months back, I visited BlockOps Mining's brand new facility in Central Arkansas. The team there was super professional, knowledgeable, and everyday miners like you and I. After visiting the facility, I sent them a few of my ASIC miners for hosting and have been super happy with their service and communication. Go contact BlockOps Mining directly down below in the video description and tell them the Hobbyist Miner sent you for great pricing on miners and hosting.